Welcome to another 380th how-to video. Today we will go over the instructions for requesting NIPRNET and SIPRNET access. When arriving to the squadron, you will receive an in-processing packet. In order to effectively complete the task listed, it is important to submit your NIPRNET access request as soon as possible. To request NIPRNET access, you will need your CAC, your Annual Information Awareness Training Certificate, a copy of the Rules of Behavior, AF Form 4394, and DD Form 2875. SIPRNET access requires a separate DD Form 2875, DD Form 2842, and 2 forms of government-issued IDs. To get started with your NIPRNET request, pull out your copy of the Rules of Behavior and Acceptable Use Standards for Air Force Information Technology. These statements reflect mandatory behavioral norms and standards of acceptable use of Air Force technology. Carefully read over these statements, then print your name, sign, and date the bottom of the form, including your rank and position. Next, you'll pull out AF Form 4394. This is the Air Force User Agreement Statement of Notice and Consent provision that permits the U.S. government to monitor, intercept, search, and disclose your Department of Defense information network usage. Read over the conditions, then print your name, indicate your status, sign, and date below. The final form needed for NIPRNET access is DD Form 2875, System Authorization Access Request. This form records the names, signatures, and other identifiers for the purpose of validating the trustworthiness of the individual requesting access to Department of Defense systems and information. CompuSec assessments and CSLs will often find this form incomplete or missing. Because of the numerous roles involved in this form's completion, we will go over the instructions step by step for requesting a new account. Page 1, Part 1 of DD Form 2875 is to be completed by the member. The member will first indicate this is their initial request and enter their EDI number from the back of their CAC. Then list today's date. The system name the member is requesting access to is the Peterson Air Force Base Network Access NIPR, located at Peterson Air Force Base, Colorado. Now the member will print their name, list the 380th Space Control Squadron as their organization, list their department, and phone number. Because this is an initial request, the member will not yet have an official email address. Instead, enter to be determined, or TBD, in this area. Now list the job title, grade, and rank, and mailing address of the 380th Space Control Squadron. The member will also indicate their citizenship and designation. The member will confirm they have completed their annual Information Awareness Training and enter the date from their certificate. The member will print their name, sign, and date this form before flipping over to page 2 to list their name at the top. Page 1, Part 2 covers the endorsement of access by the member's supervisor. The supervisor is responsible for listing the building and room number, verifying the member has properly completed the Rules of Behavior and AF Form 4394 and is a reservist. It is important the supervisor reviews the distros listed and includes all other distros the member should be added to. Now the supervisor will confirm the member is authorized to have access at the unclassified level, verifying there is a need to know. The supervisor will print their name, sign, and date the form. They will list their department, email address, and telephone number. Page 2, Part 3 of DD Form 2875 is where the security manager validates the member's background or clearance information. First, the security manager will list the user's last type of background investigation completed and the date of this investigation. They will then list the member's clearance and IT level designation. The security manager will print their name and telephone number before signing and dating the form. Finally, after all of the above information is properly completed, this form should be routed to a squadron CSL. The CSL will enter the access request into the appropriate system. They will document their name and the ticket number assigned to the request in Block 27 on page 2. The CSL will then sign their name, list their organization, department, phone number, and date on the bottom of page 1. Within a few days, you should have access to NIPRNET and your official email. If the member requires access to SIPRNET, it is most beneficial for the paperwork to be completed and submitted with their NIPRNET access request. First, pull out the separate DD Form 2875 you have received. As you will notice, page 1, part 1 is filled out by the member with almost the same information required for NIPRNET access. The only difference is the member will list the system name as Peterson Network Access SIPR instead of NIPR. Page 1, part 2 is again completed by the member's supervisor. The supervisor will list where the SIPR network account access is being requested for, along with any distros the member needs added to. They will confirm the member is a reservist, their pay grade and service, along with the member's first name, middle initial, and last name. They will then list the member's EDI number and indicate if they are a VIP or support staff member. The company and base name are included with the organization, member's official phone number, and email address. The supervisor will now confirm the member is authorized access at the classified level for SIPR network and has a valid need to know. Now the supervisor will print their name, sign, and date the form. They will list their department, email address, and telephone number. Page 2, Part 3 of DD Form 2875 is the Security Manager's responsibility. Much of the same information for NIPR access requests applies here for SIPR. The main difference is the Security Manager must verify the member does have a valid and active clearance and will designate the IT level before printing their name, telephone number, signing, and dating the form. Finally, after all of the above information is properly completed, this form should be routed to a squadron CSL. The CSL will enter the access request into the appropriate system. They will document their name and the ticket number assigned to the request in Block 27 on page 2. The CSL will then sign their name, list their organization, department, phone number, and date on the bottom of page 1. Now the member will need DD Form 2842 and their IDs. DD Form 2842 is used to collect personal identifiers during the certification registration process. This ensures positive identification of the subscriber. The member will begin by entering their name, EDI number, organization, telephone number, and email address. The member will then present the CSL with 2 forms of government-issued IDs for verification of authentication. The CSL will enter the ID types and numbers into boxes F and G before requesting the member to sign and date. Finally, the CSL will print their name, organization, telephone number, and email address before signing and dating the form. This form will be included with DD Form 2875 for SIPRNet access request. Once your paperwork is processed and your token is ready for pickup, the CSL will notify you with further instructions. This wraps up our how-to video for NIPRNet and SIPRNet access request. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please enter your thoughts below.